Okay, just getting over being sick, so Saturday, we'll get back at it. Here I am complaining about being sick when people down there in the States get hit by those hurricanes, and Mexico with that earthquake. God, what the hell's going on? Anyway, this has been sitting in here for a few days. The vinegar, and you can see what kind of mess it's making. I'm gonna have to rinse that out with something. Anyway, so we're gonna dump that out. I'm just getting back at things here. I got a bunch of goodies from Home Hardware and Fastenal. I plan to put the throttle cable through one of these, and I think I'm gonna weld that thing in here somewhere. Maybe, I don't know. Weld it, tack weld it on the side of that bracket right here, I think, and put the cable through it, something like that. Or probably right in there. Well, it's not a straight pull. Be better right there, actually. Right about there somewhere, and then all I have to do is tack weld it and then tighten it up. I had bought two different sizes because I wasn't sure which one it was. The other thing I got was some big washers, fender washers, and some bolts. Nuts, actually, sorry. These are for the TerraJet, and I got a piece of steel at work now. And I found some rubbers for engine mounts, so we're gonna put this back together here, and I'm gonna make a template to go over top of this to figure out where that end has to go. I got a big piece of plate at work. And I'm gonna cut slots in it to match the bolts here, so I can pull it back and forth, like slot it this way, so I can move the plate this way or this way. I don't need to worry about side to side because I can shim the clutch out, and I have a bolt on order from Fastenal to attach that. And then once we get it going, we'll have to figure out what to do with the spring in here, because this isn't going to be timed right. A lot of you said it's a 2-stroke rev higher. Yes, that's true. We'll just get it moving first. Let's see if we can play with that clutch right there. I used to be able to take Skidoo clutch apart and you can change the weights. Actually, this doesn't have weights. I'm not sure how it's made. It just goes up on the ramp here under spring pressure, so we're gonna have to probably put a weaker spring in that. Well, that's a interesting hole. Something's been trying to get in my house a couple places. I think it's chipmunk hole. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? I'm gonna put a rat trap here to see if I can get him. I can hear him over there. If I can see him, he'd be goner. I don't know, he's over there somewhere. It's probably a chipmunk. Alright, first things first, I need to finish diagnosing this. I think it's the carrier bearings. I hope it's not the pinion bearings. I might just put the cover back on it so I can finish driving it this year. I only got a month to go. Anyway, we're going to start her up. And we got one of these stethoscope deals right here. And we're going to touch each bearing with it and find out where the growling's coming from. I don't want to run too long without very hard to hear the exhaust on this car. It's really loud under here. I don't hear a thing. Shut it off. Well, I didn't really hear a thing. That car is so loud under there, the exhaust, I possibly could have missed it, but I don't know. I didn't see anything in the bearings when I tore it apart that looked like it wouldn't make any noise at all. Usually get chips or grooves out of it, right, if it's making noise, especially how loud it was. I'm thinking it could still be a carrier bearing, because when I turned one way around the corner, it kind of went out a little bit. The noise died down. Somebody said it could be a U-joint. That makes a totally different noise than this growling it used to make. So I'm going to go ahead and clean the rest of that rear end up. I'm going to put that pot cover back on there, and then we're going to go for a drive. That's the only way to really tell. Maybe I'm not going fast enough. I don't know. I'm probably just going to end up rebuilding the whole rear end, but it ain't going to be right now. Alright, I'm not seeing any big debris chunks in there, so I'm not sure why it's that noisy. I mean, some of that is from me opening the pot cover. I'm going to go ahead and clean this off with a wire brush on my grinder, then I'm going to go scrape the rest of that off with a rag over the gears on with a razor blade probably. I can't find my grinder, so then we're going to use some black silicone, reseal it. It should be good enough. Then we'll put the gear oil in it and try it down the road. Alright, normally I just take a grinder and grind that off with my little air die grinder, but I can't find it. So we got this old friggin' knife. This is going to take forever, but it has to be clean. Make sure you cover this up really good. You can see my gears were already starting to rust from just sitting there, so I got to clean all that off too. Okay, the only other thing I did was took the side plug out first before I even tried this, in case I have to weld in there or anything. So we're going to put this black silicone in there, RTV silicone, and maybe let it set up before I put the fluid in it and tighten her down. The only other thing you need to do is put that on something flat and make sure that pot cover is not bent up on the corner, especially where you pried it up. That'll cause you a lot of leaking and headaches. Anyway, alright, time for the test drive. The only time I can hear it is when the roof's up. So this car's got a brand new engine in it. It's on its second or third transmission rebuild. Well, that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. The noise is gone now. Don't hear anything. I didn't see any visible signs of chipping or anything on that bearing. Friggin' strange. Very, very strange. Okay, it's definitely not as loud as it was, but I can hear another bearing noise. I'm thinking it's probably the pinion bearing, because it's making a different... Sounds very different than last time, but... Alright, anyway, it's gonna have to wait till next year. It's not as loud as it was, so, and I'm not 100% sure why. Maybe did it change the gear oil? I doubt it, but anyway, let's get back home. Alright, so probably over the course of winter I'm just going to get all the bearings that were in, because I still hear one. That one could be a pinion bearing, because it's when you step on it you can hear it and it kind of goes away and let go. The other one I heard before, it was loud, it was coming from that side, but I don't see any scoring on those bearings. Like I said, there's no reason why it should have been making noise, but anyway, doesn't matter. Another day, it's one step closer. Anyway guys, please comment, rate, and subscribe. Tomorrow we'll begin at this post hole auger, and maybe we'll put a couple posts in too. Anyway, my son was just bugging me too to put the cable on the go-kart, so we've got a few more things to do if we got time. Of course, family comes first, so I just get at this stuff when I can. Anyway, talk to you guys later. See ya!